house down. Little pig, let me in. Not by the hair on my chinny chin chin. Then I'll huff. And I'll puff. And I'll blow your house down.
Alright, what's up? Here we go. This video is about what to expect when going through Suboxone or opiate withdrawals, mainly Suboxone. I know a lot of the withdrawal symptoms are the same. Alright, first thing out of the box, restless legs. It's going to be your biggest fear. It's going to be your biggest panic, anxiety, frustration, irritation. For most people, this is what gets them. I got woke up probably between 2 and 4 on my birthday, July 31st, 2.5, 3 days after I took my last little dose, with that insatiable wanting, yearning for my legs to move, adjust, stretch, rub, almost cramping, aching feeling. Some people say it feels like there's bugs in their skin or different things. They have different explanations to try to relay that feeling, but really, unless you felt it or you've been there, and you're not going to understand what that feeling is, because it's very specific. It's a very specific feeling that comes with withdrawals or insomnia. Which I used to suffer from big time. So even with that and having the mental preparedness from prior experiences, there was nothing that it didn't help. For like the first week, it's not going to do much, and you're going to feel it, and you'll know what I'm saying. The biggest thing I can say is don't panic about it. Breathe. And try not to think about it. Good luck, but try not to. And if you find yourself dwelling and thinking about this constantly during it, then I suggest really trying to find something to take your mind off it, whether it's go talk to someone, go outside, do something else, even in the middle of the night, because it's going to happen. The worst thing to do is sit there and dwell on it. It's going to cause more panic, anxiety, and fear. Do something, take your mind off it, breathe, stay calm, relax. It's going to be an ordeal. It's going to be a week and a half, 2 weeks, so just prepare for that mentally. That's the biggest thing I can say. There's not really much you can do about it. People take pills. The restless leg over-the-counter things, they help for some people, not for other people. Tylenol PM usually makes it worse. Be very careful with that. I don't suggest anybody taking any additional drugs like alcohol. A lot of people drink alcohol, help them get through it, or do other drugs. I don't suggest that. Go through it, get it done. Just know what's going to happen and be prepared for it. Another thing is your stomach, your digestive system. Remember that opiates and Suboxone will plug you up. They will make you constipated. This is not good for your digestive system. The whole old waste sitting in there. It's not normal. It's not natural. This can affect your digestive system. So naturally, when you come off Suboxone, there's going to be a big effect on your digestive system. First of all, it's not going to know what's going on. It's thrown out of whack just like everything else in your body. So you're probably going to end up with some gurgly gut and some diarrhea. A lot of that's going to be based on what you eat. Stress, panic, all these emotions can play into effect on that too. What I would suggest for that is just take it easy, slowly introducing healthy, nutritious foods back into your system. Don't overload on super fatty things, make sure you get some proteins and stuff, but I wouldn't suggest going out and eating greasy McDonald's fries or burgers or something like that, or greasy fried chicken every night. This affects a lot of people. I didn't have such a big effect about it, probably because the way I weaned. I believe if you go every other day with your prescription when you're weaning off it, tapering down, that it helps with this, especially if you go 2 weeks or more, because your digestive system is slowly adapting to not having that I guess that what you could call it a binder up in your gut to make it all, slow down. Well, I mean, your whole system's slowed down by Suboxone, but just be prepared for it. The biggest thing for me was not being able to focus, not being able to mind clarity, not having that mental clarity there. It really bothered me more so than most other things, I think, due to my history and my past with insomnia and stuff like this. Going through the processes and the exercises that I learned for those first week, I'll say, it really didn't have a wonderful effect as I hoped, but not having that mental clarity, you're gonna notice, like when you're watching a movie, you're gonna watch it, you're gonna hear the words, you're gonna take them in, but after that, it's just kind of like hollow. I don't really know how to explain it. It's like watching a movie without sound, and expecting to retain what they're saying. I don't know. It's odd. Anybody that goes through it, you'll understand what I'm saying. For those first few days, your concentration's off. Your focus isn't there. You can't critically break things down into a deep thought process. Things like this, it's really, really going to affect you there. And the best thing I can say for that is, again, stay calm. Don't panic. Breathe. Always breathe. Breathing's a big thing. And if it's really bothering you to the point it's being irritating, get up and do something else. Go talk to someone. Go walk around. Whatever it is you do, take your mind off of things. I suggest doing that other than going and using drugs. Like I said, that was one of the biggest things that bothered me, was not being able to, while you're sitting there not feeling good, while your legs are going crazy, not being able to get into a movie to kind of take you to that other place where you can kind of forget about it for a minute, or reading a book where you kind of disappear into your own imagination, and start mentally visualizing what you're reading. It's not going to be there. And you're not going to be able to retain very much if you do read or listen to things. It's just your neurological pathways are not connecting right. They're firing off, ping, but they're not like making that connection. Emotions are a pretty big part of it. I mean, a lot of people right off the bat will get the up and down, from the get. You're going to be frustrated and irritated. You're going to be tired. You're going to be scared. You're going to have some panic and anxiety, and most of all, you're just going to have a lot of fear. You're going to be afraid of what's to come. You can watch all the videos in the world you want. You can read all the things you want in the world on it, but something about those opiates and the withdrawals and how it's built up in people, you're just going to have that fear of it. Excuse me, I'm still sick. The best thing I'd say for that is just to breathe. Again, breathe. Deep, calm, relaxing breath. Relax. Self-talk. Self-talk yourself through this stuff, especially if you're just do positive self-talk, and it'll help you immensely. And the more you can relax and stay calm and just kind of not dwell on things at the moment while you're going through the real bad physical withdrawals, the better. It's going to help you in the long run immensely. As for anything else, it's like one of the biggest things I noticed is what I was associating, the inability to sleep with wasn't necessarily the restless legs, but I noticed like your heart starts doing, you get this boost of adrenaline. And even when you're just laying there and you're trying to go to sleep, your heart, it's like something inside you is telling you, nope, you gotta get up, you gotta go, you gotta move, we're not gonna let you know. And in a way, it makes sense, if you think about it. The drug has been suppressing your adrenal system for so long, and it's been, put in this little box, unable to function right. And now you've taken this suppressant away, so yeah, it's gonna come back. It's gonna come back, and your body's not used to it. It's not normal to it no more after you've been on this for years. So even the slightest boost on it's gonna make you feel like you're like you just took a bunch of speed. It's kind of what it felt like to me. But I don't associate the non-sleep with the restless legs. I associate it mostly with the adrenaline boost for me. Because when that adrenaline boost is going, you can't do nothing, but and you don't feel good. It's middle of the night, you're laying there, not feeling good, can't really do much, and you're thinking, your brain's going a million miles an hour. And you're thinking about all this other stuff from the past and things you just really didn't even know you had an emotional tie to, because you've been cut off from the realities of life for so long. It just starts popping in your head. This brings a lot of emotions on people, like the crying. See, lots of people just cry and let it out, boy. Let it out, cry. You haven't felt those real deep, solid emotions for a long time, too. You need to feel those. You need to cry. You need to go with your ups and downs through this. And you will go up and down. You'll go from being irritated to happy to angry about things to sad to everything, all in the matter of minutes. So don't be surprised on that. And if you're gonna have anybody around you to talk to, I highly suggest informing them on this, that don't take things too seriously to heart when I come out here wigging out, because it's gonna happen. Very rarely are you gonna make it through all your withdrawals and not have some emotional outburst or breakdown or some sort of that. For the simple fact that part of you that part of you that loves, that part of you that really deep in your soul, those it's not there when you're using opiates or Suboxone. You're cut off from that, and you don't really realize it, I don't think, when you're getting high or you're on it, until you get off. When you get off it, man, those emotions are strong, and just know it's coming. Be ready for it. When you see yourself getting a little wacky, out of control, or breathe, relax, take a step back, tell yourself, mental self-talk here, it's gonna be okay. You can do this, you're gonna get through it. It's only a short amount of time. Remember that up here, tell yourself that over and over. You can do this, still just a short amount of time, So when those feelings get you over, just try doing some meditation, relaxing, breathing. Chills. Yeah, you're going to have the chills. I don't know too much about the temperature. I never took my temperature. Chills associated with other sickness, it's usually due to temperature rise and fluctuation. Your temperature goes up, so you get the chills because the environment feels colder than it naturally would due to your high temperature. In this circumstance, it's like chills that, I don't want to say they hurt, but they almost do hurt. I guess you could call it a pain, a real pain, like rubbing your arm or something like that. The feelings and the nerve endings and the neurological pathways that connect it to your brain are like firing off on all cylinders. So you do have to adapt to the environment again. I believe with Suboxone you do run warm anyways. Running warm does help you sleep, so that makes sense on that. But even today, the chills get me bad. Other than that, I can't really think of too much that's going to come at you. You know, you're not going to feel good. I mean, you're just not going to feel good. You know, you're going to feel your old pains again. That's another thing. The pains I associated with it was old pains, like my hip. Yeah, it used to hurt, but going through withdrawals, it was like double pain, you know. Same with the scar sensitivity where I got stabbed in my shoulder and stuff like this. Where I used to be kind of sensitive and, you know, tender, and now it's like, fuck, man, totally flared up and was agonizing. Now, and this makes sense again. Remember this, always put it back in your head of why this is happening and how it makes sense so you can understand it. And if you understand something, the less you're going to fear it, the less you're going to panic about it, you know. So always make sure and put it up here. This is what's happening. This is why. Everybody's different. You're going to have your own symptoms. You're going to have your own things going on. You know, this is just me personally trying to give people some insight and information about what I went through, you know. So yeah, your old pains are going to come back. You know, if you've been on pain medication for specific things, like a back injury or something like this, then, you know, you might think about talking to your doctor about another routine if you're going to be in immensely extreme pain. You know, there is reasons and situations people do need things to help with that. So, and I don't hold that against anybody. You know, for me personally, the pain right now after going through withdrawals and not being on anything for so long is so much less than it was when I first had my injuries. They were giving me prescriptions of pain pills for years, you know, stuff like this. It is so far low on the pain scale that it's almost, you know, ignorable, and kind of laugh at myself for even going and getting pain pills for it in the first place. But, you know, that's just how it goes, you know. Just understand that you are going to feel those aches and pains, you know, and you are going to ache. You're going to have some joint pains. You're going to have some muscle crampings. You know, you're just going to have this stuff as your body readjusts to not having the chemical that it's dependent on anymore, you know. And but don't worry about it. You know, if you see your addiction, you acknowledge it, and you desire a change, you can do it. Don't be afraid of it. And if you do have a big fear about it, which some doctors, even I've seen doctors almost put it in the patient's mind. I've seen other people put it in other people's minds, you know, and they fight for that. You know, this is why, it's my reason. Just, you know, you can conquer that fear. The fear is a lie. It's just a lie, you know, and it's used there to keep you an addict, whether you're paying the drug dealer more money or you're paying the doctor. I didn't really mean to go off this much or rant or make it this long. It was really just supposed to be a quick couple-minute video about things, symptoms and things you're going to go through. A lot of the legs and the back electrical jolts going through the back and stuff like this happens. I'd say the intensity increases at nighttime. And a lot of times this is why people are having a hard time going to sleep, mixed with the adrenaline uppage and your heart's pumping and your mind's going. Yeah, it's going to be tough to sleep. I say this, don't force it. Know what's going to happen. When you go into, when you're getting prepared, mentally prepare yourself that, yes, on day 2.5, 3 of that night, I'm not going to sleep. You know, up here, tell yourself that. You're staying up all night, and you're staying up all night the next night and the next night. Maybe then you'll crash out and get an hour or so of sleep if you're lucky. Some people don't, you know. Some people get 10, 15 minutes here because their body's so exhausted. Be prepared for that. Tell yourself this is what's going on. This is why it's happening. Acknowledge it, understand it. The fear, the panic, anxiety will subside, you know, and deal with it. And tell yourself that. Tell yourself you're going to deal with it. It's a big mind game. If you, it's all this is. It's a big mind game with a week and a half of physical sickness due to a withdrawal. Okay, you can go a week. If you can get the flu and survive the flu, you can survive withdrawals. I know a lot of people have a harder time with what comes after the physical withdrawals, and that's a lot of the mental withdrawals, you know. Some I think it associates more with people that weren't necessarily on opiates or pain medications for pain specifically. You know, it's more of just a high and they got addicted to it or whatever. I think that affects them more. It's more mental that way. You know, it's something you mentally crave instead of are using as a band-aid. There's, you know, everybody has their story, different circumstances for different situations in life. You know. I'm just trying to give some output and some input on this and give people information, you know, that from real life. But so yeah, what other side effects can I remember? I don't think there's too many that I would put on there. I'd talk about. I think I've put on there the basics. Anything else I think would be situational per person. Just remember, conquer your fear, and you can do this. You know, everybody's got the strength inside them. They just got to decide when enough is enough. And I'm tired of being afraid. I'm tired of being sick. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of that. You know, when you're tired enough of shit, you'll get up and do something about it. When the situation you live in, when it causes more pain to stay in a situation that you're in than it does to change it, you'll change it. Anyways, never quit, never fail. You can do it. You know, take the fight to it. Later.